It's possible that a lot of things around you were formerly very bad, and were even looking that it was all unredeemable, to the point that sometimes you even started doubting that there's a way out of it. It was like you were all alone, but then God showed up for you, or He's revealing Himself in your life little by little, using you to show His mighty works that men might see the light. When things like this that you couldn't even imagine could happen to you begin to come to reality, certain people will feel you don't deserve any of it, and those things are too good for you. They'll start to think of schemes to bring you down. Because of their pride, they believe that you should never be a person who can think about attaining such a positive life. Not to talk of it happening. The people who would have opportunity to bring you back down are the ones closest to you. This is one of the reasons you have to pick those around you wisely, and those who you allow in your space. In life, you need people who wouldn't bring jeopardy to your future, but will support you and you both will grow together. People who would always want you to be a better version of yourself and be there to encourage you when the worst things are happening. The ones that'll never leave your side, but those who'll keep partnering with you to see that you walk in the glorious future that God has planned for you. They will partner with you to ensure that the future that God has in store for you will come to pass. True friends are those who wouldn't find every means and make schemes to bring you down, or enjoy seeing you in the horrible situation that you were once in. Being in bad company is like poison. They are wolves in sheep's clothing and green snakes in green grass. Those that act this way have a very strong sense of jealousy rooted deep in their minds. They claim that all that is happening are lies and that these things are only happening not because it's real, but because you're trying to manipulate people into believing it's real. Apart from those friends who might want to do something to stop your joy, there are also principalities and powers of the devil that have been sent so you might not fulfill what God has sent you. This type of limitation happens when you're at the breakthrough, and all you need is a little more push, which will make you come fully into the manifestation of God's glory. There were people in the Bible who have had this experience with people who have tried to stop the purpose of God in their life, but they did not succeed because God doesn't leave His children stranded. The devil will have schemes, but God is always more than 1,000,000 steps ahead. He already has everything planned out, so though it might be looking like there's no hope left for you to trust in, God is doing something backstage so that your entrance will be grand. He is a faithful God and will never leave you nor forsake you. The life of Joseph was already a story where his dreams couldn't even compare to his present situation. His life was a spectacular one. No matter how much he would have tried, he couldn't achieve his dreams without a divine manifestation. You have to be aware that you can't do anything alone, but with God, you can do everything. Joseph was a person who was never worried, but was patient, waiting on God. He also never let his situation take control of him. He didn't rush anything, but made sure that every step he was taking was ordained by God. One thing that he stood strongly in is that he couldn't do any grave thing against God, so he kept calm and trusted God in everything. In the end, he came out on top, expressing the miracle of God. Another very important figure in the Bible that went through unbearable things despite not deserving the kind of suffering he went through was Jesus. Jesus is the Son of God who came to die for our sins and make us pure and blameless. During his stay on earth, he performed miracles, made people believe, and healed people. But despite all the good things he did, some people still didn't like him and wanted to kill him. People in authority viewed Jesus as a threat. This even started early. When King Herod heard about the birth of Jesus, people said it was the birth of a king, and he thought that Jesus was born to take the throne from him. He plotted to kill him by killing the male children, but didn't succeed because God had already revealed to Joseph, his father, that Jesus was in danger, and he ran away with his son and Mary. According to the New Testament, Jesus' life was threatened numerous times, most often by the religious leaders known as Pharisees. They were teachers of the law and believed that all things should be according to the law. Jesus is a person that came to take away the curse of the law and bring grace, but because of his teachings and how they were not in line with their own belief, they became angry. He ate with tax collectors and associated with sinners, and this made the Pharisees hate him so much to the point that they didn't want God's purpose for him to be fulfilled. They regarded Jesus as a challenge to their authority in the synagogue. His unstinging criticisms of their hypocrisy and greed stung them badly and threatened their credibility. He corrected them in their wrongdoings and beliefs, and told them the principles they'd been living by was not the right thing anymore, because now the people will be justified by faith and not by works. At the time when Jesus stormed the temple and corrected them for selling in the temple and how they made it a place of thieves, they became very angry, and this made them arrest and execute him. They claimed that they wanted him executed because he was blaspheming against God. But the truth is they were jealous and angry about the fact that Jesus was opposing their belief. The murderous rage and unjust actions of Jesus' enemies couldn't stop God from achieving his purpose. He incorporated them into his plan. Their hatred put Jesus on the cross, but God had another plan in mind and rose him up again. God turned their evil doings into a blessing for mankind today, and which is going to last forever. They all tried to stop the plan of God to bring man back to him, but they were defeated because God had everything already planned out. When faced with situations like this, where everyone's opposing you and against you, don't fret, but keep your hope in God's Most High. He has good thoughts towards you, and would certainly give you an expected end. All you have to do is not worry or be anxious, but in everything by prayer and supplication. Fight your enemies on your knees, and let God fight for you on the battlefield. He takes up your battles like his, and in the end, your victory will be sure. Your life has been planned out perfectly by God, in a way that you'll have favor and all good things of life at every step. Keep believing in that, and you'd see it all work out for your good.